And welcome everyone to the Successfit team call. I can't believe, I always say this every week. I'm like, I can't believe, but it's like May 18th. It's like the May 2-4 weekend this weekend. It's crazy. It's freezing out still. I'm going to complain about it. Anyway, I'm excited to have everyone on tonight, and I'm going to just mute you all out. Sorry. So there we go. So when it's your turn to talk, Lorissa, you'll have to unmute yourself. But tonight, as I said in the team call, everyone has been starting to take turns in hosting our team calls, which I think is so valuable, because the leaders and as even the new coaches, as you guys come up, it's so helpful to know what everyone needs to learn and share from all our different perspectives, because we're all really different, right? And we all reach people differently and have different skills. But I'm so excited to have Lorissa talking tonight. I think you've all seen her. She's often on the leaderboards and leading our top 10 coaches. And as of tomorrow, she'll be a 2-star qualifying coach, which is a really big deal. And she's a Success Club All-Star, which is huge. It means that for over 12 months in a row, she's been hitting Success Club, and she's only been a coach for maybe 15 months, Lorissa. So if that, maybe 14, or anyway, I'll let you talk when you get a chance. But we all know her. We all love her. She's going to talk to us, I think, give us a good pep talk and give us some real tips tonight about what's helped her and how to move things forward. So without me continuing, I'm going to pass it along. And if you guys have questions as she goes, unmute or throw them in the chat, and she'll cover them as we go. But welcome tonight. And Lorissa, you're on.
All right. So thank you for that welcome, guys. I'm so excited to be here. I just feel like the team is growing and really taking hold, and that is so exciting. And I kind of put this call together tonight because I needed it for myself. So I hope that in doing so for myself, I can give you guys a nice pep talk tonight. So let me just share my screen. All right. Let me figure this out. I had to change it into PowerPoint. I'm used to the other program. So, all right, you guys got that? All right, cool. Okay, so let me just move you guys. All right, 3 changes that will turn your business like a boss. So let's see. How do I move my screen? Oh, there we go. All right. So 3 things that I want to touch on tonight are to first love yourself. So I love that acronym of FLY, because I really feel like it resonates with me that once we first love ourselves, others will come next. And also the entrepreneurial people, so I'm just moving you guys out of my way so I can see my screen, are passionate about what they do. They're comfortable about taking risks, and they're quick to move on from failures. And as coaches, this is exactly what we need to be like, because it is all about taking risks. And I've fallen flat on my face before. I've lost rank. I've, had a tough time. And then I've had great weeks that just pick you right back up again. And that's just how this rolls. And I feel like the sooner that you learn that you need to roll with these kinds of punches, and Bria made a note in Successfit the other day about it's grit that sort of keeps you rolling. And it's so true, because I just feel like we do this sort of thing as coaches. And, we don't want to get stuck in those downs. We want to keep moving when it's down and hit the up again. So one way of doing that is stop saying I wish and start saying I will. And that starts with you guys, Okay, so as coaches, we need to really own up to it. We need to stop sitting around waiting for other people to grow our dream. I love this little quote. I actually don't think I've posted this picture yet, but I just made it. If you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. So that really resonates with me, because I want to build my own dream. And I feel like since you guys are all in this and pushing for Success Club every month, that you guys want to build it too. But that starts from within, and we need to own up to it and really have pride in being a Beachbody coach. So tip number 1 is to stop waiting for success to come to you and take that ownership. So, you don't need to wait for your upline to tell you to do things. And I feel like this is where being that entrepreneur really comes in. And trust me, I don't have a business background. background. I'm a nurse, really. I've been an obstetrics nurse for over 10 years. So when I kind of jumped into this, I didn't even actually put on an entrepreneur hat. I had that like caring hat on as a nurse. I truly love the products. I just wanted to bring people along with me on this journey. But once your warm market sort of dries up a little bit, you'll notice that when you need to start tapping into that cold market, that you really do need to put a business hat on and really go for it. And in doing so, you can't really wait for anybody else to help you. You can Google it. You can, YouTube stuff. I learned so much on team calls of other people's YouTubes. But I'm not sure who everybody's uplines are. And I do love my upline, but sometimes you'll notice that your upline might not have the same drive as you, or may just be a hobby coach, or maybe they're really going for it. And if you're, under Bria, you guys, we're all so lucky that she's our leader, because she is incredible and shows us exactly where we can go with this. And it's so true that, when you see somebody else being successful, you're like, well, if she does it, I can do it too. And that is like the spirit behind this team. But do know that if your upline is a hobby coach, which is totally fine, don't stop there. You guys can move on. And it's no one else's job to really support your dreams and goals. But as a positive upline, like that's what we all do for one another. And I think that really resonates with this team specifically, because there are other teams that I've been on corporate calls and it doesn't seem like anyone supports anybody. And I think we should all feel really special that we get to be a part of something like this in Successfit and whatever everybody else's team names that you guys are. But we all get to work together and we get to make these sacrifices. And yeah, we have to give up some stuff sometimes. And maybe that means not watching TV at night, or getting sucked into that Facebook scrolling vortex. Like, it was the best thing that I ever did for my business, was to shut the Facebook down and kill the news feed. It just really helped me, like, with my business hours. And, when I first started this, I wasn't going to give up any sleep for it. But let me tell you, when you have a goal in your mind, you're willing to give up sleep. You're willing to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go for it. I mean, I have so many people ask me, why don't you just work out after you drop off your kids at school? And I'm like, kind of rolling my eyes, like, are you crazy? I have from 9 to noon every single day to work my business. There's no way that I'm going to use that time to go work out when I know that I could wake up early and get it in. And then when I get back to my desk after dropping my kids off at school, I can work a business, So it's about learning how to give up some sacrifices, but know that time suffers like TV watching and stuff aren't going to give you any return, so that, you've got people to help and we can get out there and do that. I just recently got this book and I absolutely love it. It's a really quick read, but it's all about punching fear in the face. And for you new coaches out there that are just trying to figure out how to turn that switch from average to awesome, this book is great. I do love it. So I just thought I'd throw it up there. And if any of you guys want to do a screenshot or write it down, or I guess it's in the recording, but all right. So my tip number 2 is to be teachable and to be coachable. I think that personal growth and personal development is just so important in this business. And the longer that you're in it, the more you realize how important it is. Every single top coach you will hear on YouTube when you watch them, or any sort of calls, everyone talks about personal development. And when I was a new coach, I didn't really give it any worth, because I was hitting Success Club and I just, I was going about my daily business. But when the lows start to hit in, you realize that you have to dig deep and you have to find that will within yourself to push through those tough walls. And the best way to do that is to dive into personal development. And I can see people nodding their heads, because we've all been there and we know that it's so true. And to not forget to love yourself, because you can get kind of negative sometimes in this business, and there's just no point, because we're all about uplifting other people. We're all about bringing people on this positive journey. So if you are kind of in a rut, or you need to figure out where you're going in this business, or you haven't hit Success Club, dive into some personal development. I promise you it'll help. If you don't have a book right now, reach out to Bria or I. I know we have a list going somewhere and we can help you, or drop it in the chat. But it is a vital behavior to this business for a reason. And I feel like if you can commit to reading some personal development every single day, and literally every single day, and not missing a day, just like we wouldn't with our workouts. Sometimes we slip up with clean eating. Sometimes we slip up with workouts, but we know that we shouldn't, and that we should put personal development as high on a list as working out and eating clean, because it really is. So you can ask that question: is the coach that you are today going to get you to the coach that you want to be tomorrow? And are you making those steps in your business, or are you being dedicated enough that you can see that your trajectory is growth? I feel like I got really lucky in the beginning. And I remember when I had a new coach, Katie, was on this call. She was low-hanging fruit. And it's true, there is some low-hanging fruit in your warm market, but you'd be surprised at how long your warm market will last for when you think that you're already hitting a wall, and maybe you're in month 2 or 3 and you're like, oh my goodness, there's just no way. But there is a way, and when you find that will to find the way, you're going to get there. So another thing that you need to think about too is admire somebody's beauty without questioning your own. And another quote that I loved was, a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. And, it's hard in this business when you see other coaches excelling, and maybe you think that you want to be excelling at that same speed, or you're questioning what you're doing because you're not getting there fast enough and they are. But comparison isn't going to get you anywhere. It's, sometimes I've turned off following other people because I just don't want to put it in my head. Or sometimes when you read somebody else's post, unconsciously, it just seems to the words that you're trying to put together for your post, it seems to be the words of their post. So, sometimes I've just had to turn off other people's stuff so that I don't read it. But there's no point in competing, and just, instead looking at what they're doing and figuring out how they're doing and using it to your advantage. And some people dream of success and other people make it happen. So we want to be those people. We want to be the people that dream and work and create success. I love this little quote that I found of Estee Lauder. It says, when I thought I couldn't go on, I forced myself to keep going. My success is based on persistence, not luck. I feel like that applies to coaches completely. All the top coaches will say there isn't a secret sauce. The secret sauce is just consistency. It's the consistency in this business that creates success. Even if nobody's liking your posts, even if you're putting up a call out and nobody's raising their hand I want to join your challenge group, people are still watching you. So that when you reach out to them and you send those positive little messages, it's going to resonate with them. You already made that post. So when you do the second personal invite, they may be thinking, yeah. Or if not that time, maybe the third or fourth. But it's all about this consistency. And going back to that negativity thing, it's easy when you're in a rut to forget that consistency matters. But there's where that grit and hard work comes in, is that you just need to keep posting regardless, and it will rebound back to you. And you will climb that mountain and hit the top. All right. Why won't I go there? Okay. So consistency. Your why has to be bigger than that punch of life. And I love this little quote that I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go. Things go wrong so that you can appreciate them when they go right. You believe lies so you can eventually learn to trust. No one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together. And it's so true, because you can work so hard to get to diamond and to put little coaches in your little bricks that you're building with your team. And then they can crumble and fall out. If they're discount coaches and they only wanted to be there for a month or 2, and they can fall out and you can feel devastated. But then you just climb back on again and put more coaches in those slots and just keep on climbing timing because it's going to come together eventually. And when you feel like possibly that Beachbody is consuming your life, like, oh, I feel like I'm posting all the time. Like, I can't really relate to that because I truly love posting, and I feel like it's been a lot of my success because I love to consistently post. But Beachbody doesn't consume my life. It gives me life. It gives me the energy. It gives me that like drive that I just want to wake up and help more people. I would be doing the workouts and drinking Shakeology regardless if I was a coach anyways, but the life that this bigger picture and this bigger vision that coaching brings, it's just amazing. So sometimes when I hear people say, like, doesn't it just consume your life? Absolutely not. Beachbody gives me life. So we need to just show up, do the work, and be the best that you can be. And I love this little quote by Maya that success isn't liking yourself, liking what you do, or success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. And that just goes back to being a product of the product. I mean, I don't know how anybody can really be a coach if they don't love doing it and being a coach. And like, I mean, I love Shakeology. I love working out. I kind of feel like I don't know how everybody doesn't want to do this, but I think that that's where the passion just excels and it organically shows when you post about it. So there's where that mindset shift comes in. Like, then we start to build a team. So we're posting all this stuff, we're getting people into our challenge groups, but we still need to move our business forward. And how do we do that? It's that we need to understand that it's not just about the customers and it's not just about you, but it's about our team. It's about like helping everybody else. And when you help other people, it's internally going to help your business. So we need to stop trying to convince people to join us because it benefits you. It's that we need to have that mindset shift that we're changing their lives. We are doing them a favor. It might be really hard to launch this business off the ground. Don't get me wrong. And all of you coaches that are like less than 6 months into this, like, I get it. And I can still say coaches that are less than like 12 months into this, I can say, I get it. Like, it's sometimes not easy, but it totally is because it's so fulfilling and so rewarding, and the confidence that keeps building with each month that you do this. Like, for example, a year ago, there's no way you would have caught me dead speaking to all of you guys on this call because I would have been too shy or, not sure what I would have been speaking about. But the confidence comes with doing this and repeating yourself and believing in it and being that girl boss that we know can be, right? So always aim high, work hard, care deeply about what you believe in. And I'm sure that all of you guys that are showing up on these calls believe deeply in this, or you wouldn't be here at all. And that gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. So believe in yourself, love yourself, shine amongst those who didn't believe that you could. And I know that there's people around us that think like, oh, you're just a Beachbody coach, or maybe family members that have rolled their eyes at you. Like, are you serious? Like, you're really doing this? And it's like, yeah, I'm really doing this. And I think that, the longer that you do it, people just start to see that, like, they're going to start to get jealous of you actually, because they're like, well, wait a minute, like she's getting fit, she's eating well, and she's making money, and it looks like she's having so much fun doing that. It's like, yeah, because I am, and we are, right? So our 2016 goals, they're not look like a girl, act like a lady, think like a man, and work like a boss. It's look like yourself, act like yourself, think like yourself, and work it, girl. So we're trying to post all about us, right? Not about I guess we're kind of posting about what we want to be, but we need people to understand us, understand our story, and know what our own why is. That'll separate us from all of the thousands of coaches out there. So we have to remind ourselves that that is what our goal is to share with people. So be relatable. Don't go for no's. I hate it when people say that. So don't say that. Always go for yeses. I totally believe in that whole attraction of positivity. I always message people thinking that they're going to say yes to me. Not that every single time they say no, I'm devastated, but I honestly go into every single invite thinking they're going to say yes. And if it's a no this time, I don't even really like let it bother me. I just like kind of bank it like, I got them in a year, or like, I'll see them in 2 years, or their Success Club points in 6 months from now. You know, like I know that they're going to be a yes eventually. And I struggle with this one, is that celebrate every single little victory. And you can post about it. Like I may be about to be 2-star qualifying, but in my head, I'm already like, okay, how am I going to move on? Like I need to just stop and like take this moment in, because it's not easy to get this far. And we need to remember to celebrate these little victories every single way. Even if it's that you did 10 push-ups one day and the next day you could do 20, you know, celebrate that, post about it. And that we can never just get comfortable with where we are, because we are doers and we are go-getters. So we don't work for anybody else. If we're having a bad day, don't get comfortable in the bad. You got to aim to bring it up. And I'm talking about all of this because I really did need to give myself a little pep talk, because sometimes it gets a little tough, but it's like you sell a challenge pack and you're right back in the game. And again, I go back to, it's not about just Success Club points. It's not about selling things, but let's get real. Sometimes that does like lift you up a little bit, right? So a girl boss knows when to throw the punches and they know when to roll with them. So, you know, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, it's not a great day for me to be messaging people. It's not to say that it's not going to happen though, because that's a non-negotiable for me. So if one day I'm just like not feeling it, I'll dive into personal development. I'll work on other stuff on my business that I needed to do. And I will guarantee you that the next day I wake up, I will do double the amount of work, because if I didn't send the messages out yesterday, I will do twice today. I'll make sure that they get done. So there's no time for BS when building your own empire. And that's what we're doing. We all have to believe in our inner bee. It's magic that you make for yourself. And it's so true that when she believed she could, she did. So I loved this little quote too. Sorry for all the quotes, guys. I just love them. A girl boss is someone who's in charge of her own life. She gets what she wants because she works for it. A girl boss, you can take control, accept responsibility. You know where you're going, but you can't do it without having some fun along the way. And you're going to take over the world and change it in the process, because you're a badass. And even on my worst day, we're all still killing it. Because you know what? There are people that cannot wake up and work out. And even when we're having a bad day, we all roll out of bed and we all push play anyways. And we feel better, don't we? So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I hope that you got some takeaway from that. But I really hope that above all else, we can see the vision and the bigger picture in this business, and that we all feel that energy of passion rippling throughout. Like you can hear these like new announcements coming up in our team, and people that are just hitting Success Club, just running their own challenge groups. I mean, that is super exciting, because on that we build and build and build, and it's this ripple effect. And I just want to share that passion with you all, and I hope that we go to bed tonight waking up with fire under us tomorrow morning. That's it.
I feel like you can just drop the mic and walk away after that.
I don't feel like it.
That was amazing. And I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to jump in and say, but like I could obviously comment on all of it, but I just feel like what I know that there's a lot of ups and downs in this, but I think, you know, what you said about this being obviously our own empire that we're building, what I love about the team concept and why we're all here. And I know this time slot doesn't work for everyone to be on the call, but for those who are on tonight and for those who make the time to listen to the recording, like the team is what gets us through. It's what smooths out the roads of the ups and downs. And like sitting here listening to you share your story about needing your own pep talk and about the passion that you have, like that's what keeps me going and gets me excited about waking up and pushing play and starting with like hitting my workout hard in the morning. So, and then sharing that around. So that was awesome. Honestly, thank you so much. That was really just totally reinvigorating for me tonight.
Awesome. I mean, I just feel like it was a rough month. I feel like when I was speaking to corporate, like everybody felt it in the business. And I mean, if you didn't, then you rock. But it's time now. Like we're approaching summer, and yes, let's go kick some butt. Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're cutting it out a little bit. You're good.
Yeah,
Does anyone else want to share or comment on what Lorissa said? We're like totally on time tonight. That was just like impeccable.
I try.
It's great.
No one has anything?
I will.
Oh.
I just wanted to say thank you. I'm having a rough month where it's just, things just aren't flying for me, but this just totally invigorated me, and I'm going to go out tomorrow and just see what I can make happen. So thanks.
Yes, Krista. We all have those months.
We absolutely do.
Uh-huh.
Something that I'm taking from this is that, like, I tend to hit Success Club early, which is kind of my plan. I want to get it over with early in the month, but just keep going. Like, just because you hit Success Club doesn't mean that's it, right? Like, keep kicking butt, keep going, and keep doing it. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I almost stop and don't push so hard when I hit SC, but don't do that.
No, because especially when you're new, you need to just get as many SC points as possible, because then you're, able to grow your team faster, because you want to be adding coaches. And when you're brand new, there's not your people that buy your challenge packs are like going to be your upcoming coaches. So you got to keep going.
Excellent point.
I love that too. I mean, this is all about this whole business that we're building. These businesses are so much about just connecting with people, right? And helping people. And we do that through daily connections, through daily reaching out and being there consistently for them, so we can build trust and let them know that we are there to care, not because we want them to just join a challenge group, but to help them and genuinely show up for when they're ready and be there when they're ready. So I think although hitting Success Club is a key business indicator in how we kind of help people by funneling them into a challenge group and organizing it together, that those daily connections, regardless of where you are in your Success Club points in a month, they're critical to your long-term success. It's like every day, or at least 5 days a week, you're making sure you're like connecting with people and building relationships and genuinely caring about others and where they're at. So I think that's such a great.
Absolutely.
Does anyone have any great PD books that they're reading? Or, Carla's asking about like on Audible. I just discovered Audible. So I do love to read, but I find that at night I open the book and 2 pages in, I'm like dead to the world. So I find listening to audio is so much better. I can do it while I'm, folding laundry or driving, anything like that, and kind of running errands, so that you can kind of multitask them. And I was just trying to write to Carla about what they are, but I got into Audible. You can actually pay in I think it's $15, and you get, I think, a certain amount of unlimited books even during that time per month. So, I mean, that's usually how much a book costs these days. So even if you get through just one, it's worth it. But I recently listened to a book called Living with a Seal, and it was crazy. Like, it's all about pushing yourself to a new level. But then the one that I'm listening to right now is called Grit. And it's just, that's what I was talking to about in the, in my live message yesterday to Successfit, is that it's all about this opportunity in life and success. The whole concept of the book is how talent, will be beat out by grit every time. It's amazing to have skill, but it's what we don't recognize in life, and where entrepreneurs come into play and where entrepreneurs have success is grit. It's deciding, I'm going to do this, and no matter what, I'm going to dig deep when it's hard, and I'm going to keep going when it's easy. Like, I'm just going to go and I'm going to do this because that's what matters. And I have that greater vision, and hard work is, I guess, the point of it all. So it's a great book, Grit. And another one someone told me about was The Glass House, maybe the Glass Castle. Those are ones that I've heard. And The Go-Giver. These are ones that I keep hearing.
Yeah, Go-Giver is good.
That I want to.
Go-Giver is really quick.
Is it? Yeah.
Who's Grit by?
I will look on my Audible.
Is it Grit like how to keep going when you want to give up, or is it
by Angela Duckworth?
The Angela Duckworth one. Okay. Yeah.
The Power of Passion and Perseverance.
Okay.
And it's phenomenal. I mean, she starts the whole thing off talking about West Point, which is, the most rigorous military SEAL training. And and really the whole, there's grit testing. Basically all the testing it takes for them to get in, really is irrelevant compared to this grit test. The grit test is what actually proves who's going to stay or not at the end of the day. And she applies it to sales, and she applies it to kids in spelling bees, and kids that are going through and graduating high school in rough neighborhoods and stuff like that. So it's very incredible science anyway, in psychology. Sorry, Jody, did you have something to say? I feel like you were gonna.
I that was great, Lorissa. Thank you.
Aww.
You opened me up and knew everything that I needed to hear today.
Awesome. Well, I needed it for myself too, so I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, thank you. I love that you said to love yourself first. And I've been hearing these messages over the last few weeks and just trying to, just struggling through it. But it's true. When you just accept yourself and who you really truly are and what you're about, and you share that, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes what I'm about is making my videos look really neat and straight and tidy, and the lighting just so, and that's me. Maybe it's too perfect, or maybe it's not perfect enough, but that's how I am. That's what I like. So I'm just going to go with that. And I feel like when I really truly am myself, it does attract people. It's just so much easier to talk to everyone when you're being real. So thank you. Good message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great point for sure. It's hard. It is hard I loved that quote that you said. I took a picture of it of next to the flower one. Now I'm not even going to remember it, but I took a picture of it. But she said, admire someone else's beauty without questioning your own.
Yeah.
Because it is hard. It's like you can absolutely be happy for someone else and still somehow turn it on yourself and naturally be try to decide something about yourself based on someone else's success, but it's completely irrelevant, right? It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them, and that's wonderful.
Yeah. I like that one too.
Yeah.
It's important in coaching because it's, we're not competing with one another. We're uplifting one another.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you forget because you put your competitive hat on because you're trying to be successful, and it's just like an innate behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But, above all else, we're a team and we work together, and we can celebrate those successes without having those feelings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way we're going to make the massive change, I feel like, in this whole goal of helping people achieve healthier and more fulfilling lives and ending the trend of the negativity and the bad body image and the obesity and all those things. So anyone else want to chime in or share anything tonight before we wrap up? No?
I love you all. You keep me going.
Yay, Sabrina.
Wednesday nights, I swear to God, it keeps me going through the week, the month, the year, the whatever. Love you all. That's all.
That's so great.
So the other days, make sure you're diving into because personal development will keep you going for the other 6 days.
Yes, Lorissa, I got it.
Success partners. Okay, so just a heads up so next week, I've been chatting with a few people. Eric and I were talking about just because we do want to help people, and we talk about scripts and we share scripts and how to help people, especially as newer coaches, gain confidence in funneling down through the invitation process to help people into challenge packs. We are going to do some very live role playing. Instead of just sending scripts, we're going to do some live, really raw. You're going to get to see how we talk to people right on the spot. And we're going to call in a few new coaches to help us out too. So, and put them on the spot. So I know Chrissy's agreed to help us out. People who've been consistent in hitting Success Club, so you can hear how they're talking to their friends and what they're saying in a genuine way. And hopefully it'll help you learn, because that's how I learn, is more by hearing and less by reading. So that's up for next week, but have a great week and make sure you reach out if you're struggling or if you have a pain point or you need something. Otherwise, I'm really glad you guys showed up tonight, and thanks for all you do. Thanks for being a part of this team. I'm excited to see where it continues to take us. And thanks, Lorissa.
Anytime.